Welcome to Salty Smiles, a food show full of smiles. I wonder who's joining us for our cooking adventure today. Could it be? It's my dear friend, Allie! Hey Allie, do you want to tell everyone what we're cooking today? That's right, vegan pad Krapow. I personally believe in meatless Mondays and incorporating more veggies into our diet. This is a perfect dish for that. Let's prepare our ingredients. Let's start by freezing our tofu. Yes, freezing your tofu. Freezing your tofu does a lot of things for it. What it mostly does is it creates ice crystals that bloom inside of the tofu. That disrupts the texture and the cell walls of the tofu and makes them more jagged, which in turn causes it to become more meaty. So the effect of freezer burn on your meat is actually positive on tofu. Once you've thawed your tofu, slice it into chunks and pat it completely dry with paper towels. Now let's focus on our veg. I'm using broccoli, shimeji mushrooms, I think they're also called beach mushroom, and carrots for color. Let's start with the broccoli. First, cut it into manageable bite-sized pieces. I eat broccoli stems. I think everyone should eat broccoli stems. If you slice it thin enough, it gets super tender. And then we're gonna blanch our broccoli in boiling salted water for 2 minutes. After the broccoli is blanched, make sure to shock it in ice cold water. And then you're left with broccoli in ice water like this. So make sure to drain this before stir frying. So I'm gonna go do that now. The carrot just needs to be thin sliced on a bias or into any shape that you would like. Just make sure you slice it thinly enough that it cooks quickly. I don't peel my carrots most of the time. The shimeji mushrooms or beach mushrooms always come in a little pack like this. All you need to do is take it out of the pack and slice off the root end and then just separate it with your fingers. You can put the carrots and mushrooms in the same container because they're going to cook at the same time. Okay, so we've got 3 cloves of garlic, I've got a shallot, and I've got like a 2 thumbs knob, 2 thumbs, 2 inches, 1 inch knob of ginger. The garlic, just coarsely chop it, big chunks, completely fine. The shallots, we're going to chop off the tops, the bottoms. We're going to slice it into thin crescents. And then finally, we're going to take our knob of ginger. I peeled it with a spoon, and we're going to slice it into thin matchsticks. Make sure to keep your garlic and shallots together and your ginger separate, and I'll explain why later. Thai basil is super aromatic. It's pretty similar to Italian basil, so if you can't find Thai basil, get away with Italian basil. We're going to pick the Thai basil off the stems. I've got roughly 2 loose packed cups here, or a cereal's bowl's worth. And then this leaves us with just our flavorings. Since we're keeping this vegan, I'm going to use salt and sugar to balance it. I might use a little bit of soy sauce, we'll see. And then the main flavoring ingredient, my vegan namprikpao, which is a smoky, charry, sweet Thai chili jam in oil. In Asian grocery stores, you'll see a lot of it, but lots of times it'll have shrimp paste or fish sauce in it, or you can make your own. I think we're ready to start cooking. Okay, welcome back. Let's start cooking. It's a stir fry, so it's going to be a quick cook. So let's get our pan ready. My mom saw my previous video and was shocked that I didn't have a wok. So she gifted me this non-stick wok. Thanks, Mom! Wok on, high heat, because we're stir frying. So, like in my previous pad thai video, and I'll put a link somewhere here, I am going to pan fry my tofu first. Let's get some oil. Let's start pan frying the tofu that we've already cubed and diced. Get yourself a nice spoon, and you want a substantial amount because we're pan frying tofu. Here's the tofu from earlier. You do want to get as much moisture as you can out of here. It helps from splattering, and also make sure that it's crispy. Ooh. So the tofu is in the wok on a high heat. We're just gonna wait till it starts to brown. Once it starts to brown on one side, I'm going to flip it over, season it a little bit with some salt, and then we're going to keep moving on, making this vegan pad krapow. The tofu has started to brown a bit, so I'm going to start moving it. Try not to move your food before it browns. That's a good tip. At this point, my tofu is 80% of the way done. I'm going to season it lightly with just a little salt. Okay, so the tofu is where I want it browned on all the sides, not like deep fried. So I'm going to go ahead and add the shallots and garlic, not the ginger. If you added the ginger now, the ginger would have like a totally mellow ginger flavor, and that's perfectly fine if that's what you're going for. But I want my ginger to be like vibrant and spicy and fresh, so I'm going to add it towards the end. That's my next tip. If you want mellow, throughout everything, easy ginger, add it in the beginning of your cooking. If you want vibrant, fresh ginger, add it towards the end. So, garlic and shallots in. You only want to stir fry your garlic and shallots until they start picking up color. Since this is at a high heat, it's going to do that pretty quickly. And here we are already. It's been like 20 seconds. So now I'm going to go in with my next veg. Carrots and shimeji mushrooms in. This already smells so good. Stir fry the mushrooms and the carrots. Since we have taken the time to sear the tofu, we don't have to be too careful about it breaking apart. At this point in the cooking, all that we're looking to do is get the carrot tender. The mushrooms will cook evenly at their own pace. Mushrooms are kind of like a magic ingredient. Like, they're really good seared, but in stir fries, they're really good just thrown in. If you can hear, you hear that? That really high-pitched squeak? When mushrooms squeak, you know they're cooking good. They like let you know. We are halfway done with this cooking. I can pick up a carrot and know that it's tender by, it's hot. At this point, I'm going to add my secret, wonderful vegan ingredient of the day, my namprikpao. And we're going to add 1.5 tablespoons of this right now. 1, 2. We're going to give this a quick stir fry. Toss everything in the namprikpao. At this point, I'm going to add my blanched broccoli back in. Yum! We're going to add a little bit of water to make this into like a sauce. So I've got a 1/4 cup of water. And at this point, I'm going to add my ginger so it can start blooming in the stir fry. We're going to toss it. See if it needs more salt, more sugar, or some soy sauce for depth. I'm going to add some soy sauce. A tablespoon of soy sauce. And it also definitely needs sugar. 1/2 tablespoon of sugar. We're going to give this a stir. That's it. We can turn it off now. Okay, so now we're going to take all of our fresh basil leaves and we're just going to saute them in. When you get to the step of stirring in the basil, you don't need to have it on the flame anymore, so you can take your time and gently fold it in. The residual heat from the stir fry will start to wilt the basil. And this is vegan pad krapow. Less than 10 minutes of cooking. I'm so excited to eat this. I'm gonna get my rice, come back and plate this thing.
Perfect, perfect. Perfect.
Taste test time. Let's do it. So let's try one of the tofu first. This is like the best this is. Such big flavors. And this one's vegan? Crazy. I hope you all had fun making this recipe. I really hope you try it out. It is extremely delicious, super quick to whip up. Allie, our recipe was a success. Dance party! Thanks for watching Salty Smiles. You made it to the end. Good job. If you could do me a favor and hit that like and subscribe button, don't forget to hit the bell icon. Me and everyone else here at Salty Smiles would sure appreciate it. And until next time, stay smiling. Bye-bye.